Hello guys, so in this video we will do two things. We will create a new annotation feature class, and then we will convert our Orange County cities labels, the existing labels, to annotation feature class so we can design it the way we want to look in our map. So here we will go to Orange County folder, we will go to our geodatabase and Orange County dataset. I'll right click here and say create a new feature class. I'll call it annotation. I will give it the same alias. I'll choose annotation features from here. And what you can do here is you can already connect this annotation feature class to existing feature class already, but we are not going to do this right now, but you can do it by check this one and say which layer you want to connect your annotation to. So here we will disable this one, we'll say next. Here you can define the reference scale, so let's make it like 1 million in decimal degrees, say next. And here, same thing for the label classes. You can define different classes for your annotation. So every time you create a new annotation on your map, you can choose which class you want to apply the settings for. So here we will keep it the same. I'll go next and go next again. And here, as you see right now, we have existing predefined fields for the annotation class. It contains all the settings for your annotation, like the labels, the size, color, and all the information about this settings you defined for your annotation. It's set up in the fields. And also keep in mind that annotation feature class, it have an object ID, and every annotation considered like a feature on the map. So you can add any extra fields if you want to. So we are gonna say finish. And now we have our annotation feature class. So let's open our Orange County MXD and add it to the map and see how can we add annotations to the map. So now here we have our MXD as we left it in the previous video. Let's disable the labels for now for this layer and come here and say add data and add our annotation feature class. As you see here, it's annotation, and the way to edit it is by open an editing session and go to create feature window, and you choose annotation class, and when you click on it you will see here that you have a window, and in this window you type the text you want to save. So let's say, for example, I will add my first annotation to Costa Mesa City, and here I will come and say label this one right here, and you can place your label anywhere you want. So I will place it right here, and you can change how the angle of the label looks. I will click another one and you will see that the label will show up here. Now I have this annotation I just created right now, looks big, and I want to actually to make it smaller and add it inside Costa Mesa City. I can come here for the editor toolbar and choose edit annotations tool, and I double click on this one, and I will see that I have the option to change the font however I want, or I can select what class to use if I created classes for it when I create the feature class. So here I will come here and say I want to look smaller, so I'll make it 5. I will say apply, and as you see it became smaller, and I can drag and drop it inside my Costa Mesa City. You can place your annotation anywhere you want. It's not connected to this feature layer, so you can put it anywhere you want. Let's try another option and say I want to create a new feature, but I want here on the bottom, I want it to be horizontal. So now we will add a new annotation for Newport City, and we'll come here and choose create new feature annotation, and this one I will name it Newport, and I will try to choose different tools right here. So here we have horizontal. Horizontal will put your label horizontally without giving you the ability to tilt it, but you can come anytime and click edit, and you can change the angle for your label however you want from here. You can move it anywhere you want, and you can change the angle from this side as well. So let's put it next to Newport Beach. Let's add another one. So here let's try a new label. Let's call it label, and I will try follow feature, and follow feature will add your label inside a feature but will align it with the feature. So here as you see it's moving around, but it's not gonna go out of the feature. It have to be connected to the feature somehow. So if you have a line and you want to place your annotation on this line, you can move your mouse and your label or your annotation will move everywhere on the line. And because I selected this polygon, you see that the label or the annotation is staying around this polygon, around the edges of this polygon. So I will replace it right here and say okay. So let's try another one here and say leader, and leader will create a line between the feature you select and the location of your annotation. So if I click here, you will see that, and remove the selection, you will see that there is a line created, and this line looks exactly like that, and this is the one we will use when we create our labels for this feature layer. So that's how you can create your leader, and also you can change how your line looks like. So we can come here and say I want to change the leader symbology, to change the shape, to change the gap, the leader tolerance, and the symbology for the line itself. Let's say, for example, I will make it here blue, and I will make it 2, and I say OK, and then you click apply, and you will see that my leader line changed. So when you select any annotation, you can change the settings, the symbol, and the leader. You can change the angle. You can change how your label looks like, however you want. So now let's clear the selection, go create another feature, and try our last option. Here we have curved, and curved, when you click the first time, you will see that you can move your label to give it an angle, and then once you click another time, you will have the option to make your label curved. So right now I'm creating my label however I want on the curve. When you double click, you will finish how this curve look. Let's make a larger label. Let's make here large long label, and try the curve again. Zoom out a little bit and try our label here, and then I will add a text like that, and then I will make a curve like this, and then another curve like that, and double click to finish it. So that's how your label will look like. It doesn't look as beautiful as I want it to be, but as you see, you can make your label or annotation curved however you want, and once you double click, you finish, make it curved. So that's how you can add your annotation, how you can design it however you want. Here you can find specific annotation. If you have a map or a layer with a lot of annotations, you can click on find and try to find a certain one. And here you have follow features options, and it gives you the same options. When you select follow features, it will here, you can set the options here. So you can say I want my annotation to be inside the polygon, to be outside the polygon, to be following the line, to be following the line with a curve, or to make it to the left side, to the right side. You can change the options for your specific follow feature annotation from here. So here you can click on toggle formation options. So you have the option to set up your text size and font and how your text looks like before you replace it on your map. So here I'll choose 12. I'll come here and add 12 text, and then I can come here again and say I want to add 10, and here is my 10 size. And that's an easier way to create your annotation construction. To instead of you selecting each one and changing it, you can just enable these options from here. So that's it for the annotations, how you can create an annotation feature class, how you can add it to your map, how can you use the different construction tools, and how can you replace it on your map, and how can you change it to be curved, or change the color, or change the font. And now we will start work on this layer to make our labels or our annotations looks exactly like that. So what we need to do is to enable our labels, and then right click here and say convert labels to annotation. And what this option do is we'll take all the labels from this layers and create a new feature class type annotation with a relationship to this layer. So here it says where you want to store it. I store it in the same database, create annotation for all features, and here the feature layer name, feature length, and that option will create a new relationship class between the annotation feature class and the Orange County series feature class. And here annotation feature class, this is the name for how it will be saved. And the last option here we have is to replace the new annotation with the existing labels. So once we say convert, you will see that it will take a few seconds, and then you have Orange County annotations been added to your map, and you have your existing labels disabled from here automatically. So now we have these labels now as annotation feature class. So if we go back to Arc Catalog and we see here, we can refresh, you will see that here we have a new annotation feature class, that the one that we just converted, and also we have a relationship class created automatically to connect this annotation to the Orange County series polygon. So when you go back to ArcMap, So right now we will try to make our annotations looks exactly like how we have it on the map here. So we have the ladder for each annotation or each label, and there's separation between the text and the line, and it's gray and it's not very thick and not very thin. So here on ArcMap, we'll select any annotation and we will drag it outside, and we will right click, say add ladder, and let's see how this ladder looks like. It's a black thin line, so let's double click on it and say I want to change the color to be lighter gray and make it a little bit thick, 1.5. say OK. You can add a gap between the line and the text, so we'll increase the gap to 10. Say OK, and now I have my annotation. It looks exactly like how we have it on the map, so I will do that right now for all the other labels. So that's it for how we replace our labels, and now it looks exactly like our map right here. And it took me a little bit of time to do it separately for each one of them. I'm sure if we open our catalog and we change the properties for this feature class, and when we apply these changes, it can apply for all of them, and instead of us like going through each one of them. That's it for the annotation feature class, how to add an annotation feature class, how we can convert the labels to annotation, change the style, change the position, change anything in the annotation feature class you want. And now our map looks very similar to what we have here. In the next video we will do advanced symbology, so we change the color of these polygons based off the value of the average house price in our data. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.